Hey everybody, I'm out here in nature. I actually decided to talk for a little bit longer. This video, I would like to really dedicate this to my personal experience with Kryon and sharing a message from Kryon with everybody here today. So in the video I just uploaded, I talk about a lot of different things about the way the energy is feeling this month of December and preparing for 2018, and I talk about the gift of the chaos energy that comes from source energy, the chaos energy from source, and the balance of chaos versus love. I talk about healing the self and all kinds of stuff, but I talk about Kryon a little bit in that video too, and it just felt right inside my heart to make kind of one more video to share a message from Kryon. So I'm just gonna relax here. I got the phone in my hand. It's chilly outside, but it feels right. So just a moment here. So before I do a channeling, I want to tell you again that I connected with Kryon a couple years ago, about 2015. I have an old video where I try my best to talk about the experiences that I had the first time I met Kryon. If you watch that video, the first 15 minutes I babble and then I get to the point. But it's really awesome. My first experience with Kryon was really awesome, and it really lasted, and I still have a very close connection with him. It felt like the new moon in November, a lot of things have been changing in my life, a lot of energy shifts, new spirit guides. It feels like a lot of really intense letting goes and preparing for the new year. And it also felt like, you know, maybe it's time to kind of move on from Kryon, who's been like a super big helping hand in my life. Like maybe I'm relying on him too much, but even still, I still rely on him, and he's still a big part of my life, and I adore him, I love him. So the man who is the channeler of Kryon, he'll tell you he's the only person who can channel Kryon. My answer, my connection with that is that he is correct. He is the only soul that will be able to channel Kryon exactly like he channels Kryon. Like nobody else will see Kryon exactly as he sees Kryon, because their frequencies, when they connect, they create a very special response. And so when my frequency connects with Kryon's frequency, I create a very special connection with him as well. So it'll always be unique to my soul frequency. So this is my personal experience with Kryon consciousness. There's other channelers out there that feel that Kryon consciousness is made up of many consciousness, like lots of different minds. My experience with Kryon is, it is one solid, very, very ancient energetic expression, very, very solid, old energy. I feel like I have to go very, very deep in order to access him, but I don't feel like I have to go anywhere anymore. I feel like so connected to him that it's very easy to communicate with him, and very touching. All right, I just want to channel him. I'm also a little shivery, so I'm bringing in, it's sort of like you could have a 3D experience or a 4D like movie, you know, like because you can bring in the elements into the movie. So you get a 3D glasses, and then, you know, the movie theater brings on like wind and rain, so it brings on elements. So here I'm kind of making a multi-dimensional video because I'm shivering, so it brings on the feeling of cold. It's creating more of a dimensional experience for the viewer. So you can applaud me for that. Applaud me for that. Okay, I'm gonna relax now. So, all right. So Kryon, he's very easy for me to see. I always see him. He's sort of like, you could imagine a broccoli, you know, like a piece of broccoli, but then you just turn it black, and then you create like arms and legs. He looks like broccoli, like a broccoli head with arms and legs, and he just comes from a black energy. He has eyes, he has a beautiful smile. That's just how I perceive him. I've also perceived him in other ways. I've seen him as a giant dragon, I've seen him as a silvery man, I've seen him as a giant person, like we're talking like a 50-foot tall man or something crazy tall like that. I've seen him as a blue man with a like kind of a science fiction-y suit. I've seen him in all different kinds of forms, but I'm telling you, he's an ancient consciousness, so he's had many different identities along his own soul journey, because even ascended masters are still on a soul journey. I don't care what anybody says. I really feel that the soul lives on, and it constantly is wanting to rediscover itself in new ways, new perspectives. And I think once a soul ascends on a certain frequency, it chooses to continue to grow in another frequency. There's infinite numbers of frequencies to explore, with infinite numbers of dimensions and planets, star systems. It never stops. It never stops. But Kryon is a very, 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 very old, ancient source energy. And he also he's sort of like a chaos frequency and a pure love frequency is extraordinarily balanced. So I'm very much so trying to channel him, but the chilliness is a little bit challenging. All right, I'm going to relax here. Okay, he's touching my heart. He's sharing warmth with my heart. He really loves it that I'm taking the time to share a message from him today. He really liked it that I made that other video. I talk about some deeper, difficult things. He's been watching me grow and re-explore how I want to share information, even. He is calming me down. He's creating energetic patience, peacefulness, solidity. I feel heavier, denser, more solid. He shows me what is a lot of people cheering, like at a rock concert. I can't see who's on the stage, I just see a lot of faces cheering. He shows a message of higher wisdom that is worth celebrating. He shows me himself at a podium. He shows me that the speaker has an energetic gift that is able to connect everybody's hearts, connect them all together, and then allow them all to feel calm or to feel healed, feel love, feel connected, feel an interconnected grid. All the people in the audience, thousands of people, relax. They become attentive to the speaker. They become open in their hearts to receiving. And this gift is a blessing. He shows me the planetary frequency. He shows me his awareness of the source energy of chaos as a gift to the enlightenment of our race, of our species. As in, races or species across the cosmos have to go through hurts, periods of time, as in years of development where there are internal struggles even. In some races, not all races. But our race is one of those, where it's going through a Hertz reaction before it can truly ascend into bliss. He says the Hertz reaction, the hurting is very painful here, but it feeds extraordinary wisdom. It feeds the source, enlightenment, and every soul that incarnates here is a gift to all of us, to myself as well. He says he is honored by every single soul who incarnates on this planet. He is so warm and he is a radiating light. It's interesting because we perceive darkness as being dark, but his darkness glows. It's very interesting. I've had scenarios where I've come across darkness that was actually so bright it was blinding. And so even the perception of darkness is an illusion. So it's kind of interesting to see his is like a black sun that is glowing with light, and it is warm, and it is felt. He shows me a lot of souls feel like they are imprisoned here, They feel like they are slaves and they cannot be freed from this world, that they are trapped forever. He says if that is how they feel, they will remain trapped in the illusions of their own mind. But he encourages the souls to realize that they are not imprisoned at all and they are not trapped, and to let go of those thoughts and feelings, and that they are absolutely free. And they are enlightened as well, and they are free to be expressions of the light within themselves. He loves all the souls here. He keeps reiterating that frequency of love. It just keeps entering my heart that I love you, I love you, I love you. And he says, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. He, like every single person that watched this video, he says, I love you to you. And he's saying, I love you to thousands of people. Like every single soul on the planet, he says, I love you to. Every single one. Says I love you all day long to every soul on this planet. He says, do you hear me say I love you to you? Do you have any idea? He shows me lots of Kryon consciousness, so to speak. Lots of incarnated souls that love you, love the souls that are incarnated here, that are off the planet watching us. Totally love us, totally adore us. This is a shimmery, shaky video. It's awful. My hand is freezing. Why did I do this? I am facing the cold elements, and I am sharing. It's worth it. If the shimmery shake is too much, allow yourself to just close your eyes and just engage with the message. He says human beings do not hear I love you enough. And when he says human beings do not hear I love you enough, they don't allow themselves to hear it. If they were to be told I love you a million times, a lot of human beings will let that go in one ear and out the other, and will not allow themselves to be transformed, or even choose to acknowledge that there's somebody that is saying I love you to you today. He says he's not going to let you get away with watching this video, hearing him say I love you, and not choose to put I love you inside of your heart because somebody said I love you to you today. So you cannot go to bed tonight saying nobody said I love you to you today. He says I love you. So when you go to bed tonight, I want you to remember that you were told I love you by another creation in the infinite universe, an alien being, spiritual being, however you want to define him. He's very undefinable for me. He's really extraordinary. But he says I love you to you today. He knows you. He says I love you. He says, I'll be thinking about you while you're sleeping and sharing love with you. You can choose to receive it or you do not have to. But he hopes you would receive it. He wants everybody on the planet Earth to receive his love for every soul on the earth. He loves every soul on the earth. He says it over and over and over again. I love you, I love you, I love you. He says wisdom is part of the learning journey. Experience is part of the learning journey. Relationship with chaos is part of the learning journey. Relationship with love, though, too, is part of the journey. Do not be afraid to receive love. He says one of the hardest aspects of human ascension is human beings are afraid to receive love. Some human beings are extraordinary at sharing love, but they're afraid to receive love. Do not be that human being. Receive the love I have to share with you. I love you. He says it over and over. I love you, I love you, I love you. Please, when you go to bed tonight, I want you to think about this. Somebody said, I love you to you today. And we're not talking just, somebody said, I love you to you today. No, we're talking, you are loved today. I mean, deeply loved, deeply revered, deeply honored and respected, deeply loved. That's what he says. That's all I can share. My fingertips are cold. I'm going to try this again. This might be just an Abby extravaganza week where I just gotta talk. It heals me to make these videos. It's healing me. I'm going through something. It's not that big, it's not that hard, but it just feels like a lot. And I got like all these, it's like a psychotic pinball machine going on in my head. Then I can't, it's like so disorganized because I'm constantly, I feel like I'm in so many different pockets of deep thoughts and deep feelings that I can't figure out where I'm going next. So I just kind of randomly doing things and then I'm making videos. Okay. Kryon says I love you to you today. He says I love you to me too. He loves me too. I'm gonna go to bed tonight knowing that Kryon loves me. And you should too. You should actually take the time to get to know Kryon. He is unlike anything I have ever talked to, ever felt, ever experienced. He doesn't, like, I've never felt anything quite like him before. Every soul is unique, so I've never felt anything like any soul before. But sometimes there are odd similarities in the energy frequencies, and I don't know if you would define that as, well, this soul comes from a certain planet or a certain location, like this soul sort of began at a certain frequency, whereas this soul began at this frequency. Like Kryon's frequency is, I have not come across it in anybody before. I would say, actually, believe it or not, Joe too is, like, if you watch Joe's my friend Joe, his YouTube channel, Joseph, spiritual healer and teacher, he's a very deep man as well. You'll notice right off of the bat, he's a very deep, solid man. Kryon is very similar to this, actually. Very deep, solid energy. Very, very deep, very solid energy. Very, very loving, though. Very genuine, hearted energy. So Kryon's really low and slow, and then Abby is really high pitched, like a high pitched screaming of happiness. And we need all the sounds. We need all the sounds to make a beautiful artistic, creative work. That is all the souls, the symphony of souls, the symphony of creation, the infinite universe. We need all the colors, all the sounds, all the souls are the colors and the sounds, you know? We need them all. All right, I'm done. Yay! I made another video. Let's see how many videos I can upload in 1 week. All right, I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I don't even know what's gonna happen tonight. I have no idea. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you don't mind that I'm kind of uploading a lot of videos. Again, if you want to connect with me, check me out on my website, abbynormalswisdomquest.com. If you're ever interested in me channeling a message to you from Kryon, from my version of Kryon, my personal experience of Kryon, I would absolutely love to do it. I have a spirit and angel guides reading, but I also use that to channel ascended masters and archangels, and I feel Kryon would be a very good representation of an ascended master, or even an archangel, if you want to call him that. He definitely doesn't reveal himself as an angel, but he is a very extraordinary energy. Or we could do journey healing and psychic mentoring, whatever you want. So get in there and get booked in for a session. I'd love to meet you. That's all I have to say. Have a great day. Love you guys. I'll catch up later. Bye.